Hey guys, it's me and Yewen, and we're here because ATA had a reboot for season 2, and we're gonna play some Gen 8 mods. This is probably the first draft I've actually seen go. I've been looking online a lot for different drafts. I know that they're doing drafts now, but this is the first one to be completed that I've seen, so cool on us. I'm not alone, obviously. Got Yewen here.
What's up, fuckers?
About to say
How
that's where
we
you say your
doing?
name. And how we doing
How we
indeed?
doing?
We're gonna talk Mons. Now this is not gonna be a traditional sense to a sort of power ranking video. We're still gonna call it that, whatever. Because we are gonna be in a sense ranking these teams, so we're not gonna like put them in placements. We're not gonna talk about, oh, I think this team's gonna be the next. We just simply don't know. There's a lot of speculation in this metagame. Things could be different. Excuse me. So we're just going to go ahead, start from left to right, and just kind of talk about predictions we have about the teams, stick to the basics of what we actually know, and see if we can't, between the two of them, find some sort of decent letter grade for them. So, you have anything else you want to add, or did I kind of cover it?
No, you covered most of it.
All right, cool. So,
And anything you didn't cover, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
sure. Did you say you wanted first pick on the next team, so you
No,
wanted me to go?
you know what? We're just gonna roll with this.
Just gonna roll with this.
You have thoughts already made. I don't have thoughts. All the thoughts you hear
Well,
from me are gonna be coming right off the top of my head
I just know
because I
you
didn't
want to
plan
talk
ahead.
about a certain team, so I'm gonna go ahead and go first to accommodate for that fact.
Go for it.
Because you said this team as soon as I called you ready to do this, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. I'm gonna go ahead and go first regarding that fact, and we got TP here. Got good old TP. Um, I looked at this team, and I know he said he didn't like it, and it definitely looks. Oh, somebody's editing Serena. It definitely looks really fun. No, don't get me wrong. It definitely looks really, really fun, and I don't think it's perfect by any means, but I don't think it's as flawed as you said it was. And really, this league's just about having fun. So the first part's the only one that actually mattered, because this team is just blatantly really offensive. I mean, it just has attack stat after attack stat, just whopping. Especially this top-heavy squad here with like Darmg, Grimmsnarl, Dragovich can kill Toxapexes according to the agency, so that's really cool. Cursula is just chilling there with 135, 145, sorry, base special attack stat. Just
Just
really,
retarded.
yeah, just really hard hitting offenses, and nothing too terribly weak other than like barring like Wolfish or Bronzong. So it definitely looks like a really fun team, and it forces a lot of prep from his opponents because of Grimmsnarl's utility between if it's going to be running like prankster sets or if it's going to be kind of offensive with Party Sucker Punch or just Spirit the Dark and Fairy being a really awesome offensive typing. And then really the centerpiece, the show's about Darmg. That's what the show's about, you know, and just I mean, if you're Zen mode or if you're not Zen mode, that's the only depth you have here, but it's all you need, man. You're gonna be having a lot of fun, having high blood pressure because you're gonna miss some icicle crashes, get upset, you know, happens to
He
the
can
best
run
of
ice
us.
punch. He
Can
can
run
run
ice
ice
punch,
punch.
can run ice punch, but the thing about it is you either have high blood pressure because you missed your icicle crash, or you're not a man because you ran ice punch. That's up to you, TP. Balls
Yeah,
in your court there.
it really is.
Yeah,
I mean, Darmg is a problem
yeah.
that every one of us is going to have to deal with in some form or fashion. I don't think I've seen anything switch into this thing and not go, ow, that fucking hurt. I
I'm
don't.
pretty sure on even Scarf it does it like two shots defensive road with U-turn or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, and with Earthquake, it's nuking Toxapex too, which is insane because Toxapex is one of the few things you can kind of bring in on this. But if they make the right read, Shycrow, looking at you because you're the one with the pecs, God help you.
Yeah, it's looking really, really good here. I will say,
Grimmsnarl is a problem. Grimmsnarl is a big problem.
and I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this like right now, just to preference the fact on how we feel about, or at least how I feel about hazards. It's just
I
something to
share
really
this
touch
feeling.
on. Okay, something to really touch on is hazards. So we're
Mm-hmm.
not really gonna discredit teams as terribly, terribly hard for not having hazards because there's just not a lot out there. You know what I mean? There's very limited mons. It's very hard to find rocks with synergy. I think that the teams that did nail those things, they will be a solid talking point down the road. And I mean, I know it's a kind of cutting ahead, but I think like Jay and Epic Pants did very well in that regard. But being able to draft decent rocks and decent hazard removal is a lot harder. And it's actually really interesting that TP is the first team we're talking about because it's not like he has bad rockers. I think he actually has four with Bronzong, Hippo, Colossal, and Cursula. I believe that he has four, but he's got
Yeah.
one way of removing them, and that's Colossal and Rapid Spin. So little double spin block over there, Yay Win, is gonna have a really easy time keeping Hazard up on the squad with a Pokemon that centerpieces around being weak to rocks. That's fundamentally flawed, but in this case, but again, it's not like it's that he couldn't really do much about it in the sense of what he could get because a lot of the good like rock hazard removal stuff was going really early. So that's really all I have to say about it. I think it's a really solid team. I think it failed. If it's going to be offense, I think you needed to nail hazards a bit better. But where you set rocks fine, but just get rid of them on your own side. So Darmanitan doesn't take that really crisp like chip to rocks and spikes and stuff like that. It's going to be a problem. But that's all I had to say.
Yeah, I do like your hazard stacking, especially with Quillfish there to set up toxic spikes. I mean, looking at other teams, most of their poison types aren't necessarily the best. And some teams don't even have. Let me see. Is there any team that doesn't have a non-floating poison type? Let's see.
I think Butter, maybe? No, he's got Drapion.
Drapion, he's got one.
Well,
So for the
Panda.
most part, I think we all did. Well, yeah, Panda. He's got Roserade.
Oh, okay.
So I guess most of us do have a way to get rid of the toxic spikes. It won't necessarily be the best way. Like I do see Outback's got a Vileplume. I don't know how often he's bringing a Vileplume.
With Rain.
So that's a very solid thing to have. You got bulk where you need it with Vaporeon, the Hippo, the Bronzong. Even Colossal's pretty beefy. Grimmsnarl
really
is
is.
kind of fat. Even Quillfish is a good defensive mod because it's got that Intimidate ability.
And I mean, I can't let you disrespect the Big Apple down there. As much as it's
I'm not
not better
going.
than Flapple, as much as it's not better than Flapple, I need to give some sort of respect to it.
I was getting down to the apple. I was just kind of going down a list, really.
Oh, got you. Sorry.
You're good. I appreciate you coming to Appleton's defense. It was adorable. But yeah, this team really is hit hard and try to kill my opponent within the first 12 turns, because the second you get into like that 20 turn range, you're going to start to lose momentum. This is a very fast operating team, and you've even got a decent trick room team with the slower mons like Dracovish and Cursula and Hippo as well, being very slow.
Does Bronzong get
Colossal.
Trick Room?
Sure it does.
Bronzong get Trick Room? I want to find this
I
out.
don't know.
I want to find this out.
My guess is that it does.
Live editing here. Don't look, guys.
Don't look.
Does get Trick Room. Does indeed get Trick Room. We're fine.
Okay. All right. So I'm not just talking out my ass. I mean, who knows what lost and what gained Trick Room, because everything lost Roost and Defog, apparently, and Knockoff. So
Everything.
who the hell knows?
All right. So now it's Outback's turn. And I'm going to let Ye Wen go first, because this is the name he dropped.
This is the first name I dropped. The other one I dropped is... You and I will both rip into the next one. Panda, okay. Prepare your butthole.
Every time.
Because we have some words for you. All right, Outback. I like the fact that you drafted a rain team. But damn, son. How many water types do you have? 4? 4 water types. Only one of which, being Seismitoad, is is an electric community. You have 2 water flyings in Pelipper and Gyarados, which I think is just not a good synergy, because I think every team here has a way to just punish that. Dreadnought, while being good and having Swift Swim, its main issue is that outside of rain, it's going to get murdered. And you don't have too good a hazard removal outside of. I don't think you have any hazard removal outside of Pelipper, do you?
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
I don't think Gyarados gets default, does it?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
Nope.
I do like the Bear Tick tech. It does get Swift Swim, I'm pretty sure.
It does.
Which is nice. Ditto is just a pain to deal with, so I will give you props there. Passimian is decent. I think it's got a niche. I don't know how well it will do on a rain team like this. But out of all of that, you have Dragapult, which is going to be, again, like Galarian Darmanitan, a problem that we all have to address. The thing can do everything. Can it do everything offensively? I think it can do everything it wants offensively.
Run spec stats set up. And I just ran into a
Scarf
Scarf one. I just ran into a Scarf one on the ladder.
Yeah, Life Orb, choice of any variety. It's insane what this thing can do. I don't think putting it on a rain team was the move. I'm interested in to see how it plays out. I think your your grass water core, Sans fire type, is mediocre because Vileplume is kind of cheeks. I don't see a steel type on this team.
I didn't even think about that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see a steel type on this team anywhere.
It's got 2 rockers. One of them's Dreadnought.
Yeah, Dreadnought doesn't want to run rocks. In fact, I think you were wasting a move slot if you run rocks on Dreadnought.
So you got to use them on the big Toad.
So really, Toad is your only legitimate stealth rocker. Does Dracozold get Volt Switch?
I actually don't know. Again, live editing. He really wanted to do. We really wanted to do. I don't know what just came out the side of my screen. We really wanted to do this as blind as possible. Just to kind of.
Okay. Like an hour and a half long video.
Yeah, I have to make this Gen 8 OU to look up its actual move. It does not get Volt Switch.
Doesn't get Volt Switch. So you have one U-turn mod. You don't have any sort of Volt turn outside of that. I don't think. Well, does Pelipper get U-turn?
I just showed everybody what time it was. Yeah, Pelipper gets U-turn.
So okay, you have 2 U-turn. You have 2 U-turn mods, but you don't have any Volt Switch, which I think is an issue.
What a god. So I think the idea behind Passimian is it's a Defiant user, and I think he wanted a Defiant user because he knows that he can't click rocks all the time. So the one turn you do go for Defog, he wants to go into Passimian. That might be stretching, but
maybe. I mean, and if that's the plan, good luck. Because I do know that a lot of Pokemon that do get Defog are flying types, and they can punish a Passimian very easily.
Yeah. You really covered it for me.
So
I don't really have much else.
I tried to cover. I don't understand the Mr. Mime Galarian.
It's a niche offense, and he's Outback, so he's gonna get wins. But
yeah, for sure.
It's weird. It's really awkward to look at. I can't really find any synergistic themes other than pure rain, and even that it does mediocrely. So.
Like with rain, you're going to want things like, Ferrothorn that'll thrive in a rain type of team. You've got 2 people that can abuse Swift Swim with the rain, which is good. But outside of that, with the Seismitoad and Gyarados, I don't think those synergize well. And I definitely don't think Gyarados and Pelipper synergize well, just because Gyarados doesn't have a Mega Evolution. If we still had Mega Gyarados, I think I would enjoy this team a bit more. But because you have 2 quad electric weak Pokemon, and Volt Switch is just going to ruin this team. Because once Seismitoad goes down, Volt Switch is 100% free.
Yeah, that is fair. We covered rockers, covered the niches and stuff. Okay, I think Outback's had enough. I think it's Panda's turn.
What the
Now
fuck, Panda? What the fuck?
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I know it's the meme to shit on Panda's team because we do every year. It feels like, but why is
He
it?
drafted a
Is
good
that
team
is that your
last
like
time.
cursor that's clicking off Flygon right now?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Who is that? Because it's like cutting off the Flygon a little bit. Looks weird.
Well,
I think that is you, 'cause you're
now
on
where is it?
Togekiss now, and now you're on Hydra again.
Okay,
All right.
my bad.
Just click. I guess just click somewhere on the. Yeah, there you go. Appreciate you, Anonymous Buffalo. Uh, but yeah, man, it's the meme to crap on his team. But at this point, he's trying to make it known he doesn't care. At least I think he drafted Pokemon that he thinks are cool and he thinks are gonna work. And he didn't have any plan at all. He tried to draft this man. This man at TP. I got words for you. Stop trying to draft legal mods and then getting off. Okay, this man drafted Sylveon and went to bed. And I was like, bro, you cannot do that. And halted the draft for like 8 hours. I was like, come on, man. You can't
It
do
was a
that.
slow draft.
I
Slow
know,
draft.
but
It's all right.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I was like, bruh, I was frustrated. But yeah, he ended up getting Clefairy, and Clefairy is not a good Pokemon in this setting. So I'm pretty sure it's his only rocker too, and then there's like this weird
Just
ice team that revolves around Ice Cube keeping his face on.
there are 5 ice types on this fucking team,
5 ice
and
types.
you have
No fire
one
resist.
Pokemon for hazard removal. I'm
No
pretty sure.
no fire resist. I mean, this is so whack. Your Corviknight's weak to fire, like to add to it. And it's not even your flying type is not even a fighting resist. Fighting resist is Roserade, which has 60 defense. I was Slurpuff. I can't forget Slurpuff. I mean, I can easily forget Slurpuff, but I
You
can't
can
forget
forget
Slurpuff.
Slurpuff.
And then Corsola G. Let's be fair. It's broad because Corsola G. I mean, knockoff's a thing, but Corsola G
But
is
not
immune to
a very
fighting.
prevalent thing.
So I
Corsola
mean,
G is going to be an issue that we all have to address because it gets rocks. It gets strength set because fuck us. It gets Will-O-Wisp and Hex.
yeah, when he started this
Like,
team, I was like, this is fire. But then as it went
yeah.
down,
He went Frostmoth on like strange first round pick, but okay. Course legit. I'm like, all right, I like it. Then he went SQ, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then he went Mr. Rhyme, and I said, boy, what are you doing?
yeah, Ice has one set, the belly drum set.
You did Corviknight, and I'm like, okay, he's kind of turning the back around. And then you went Clefairy, and I was confused again.
All the way down the line. So yeah, I mean, this is a meme. There's nothing else to confront, talk
I like
about.
the Umbreon. Umbreon fat.
That's
Umbreon is
there's
your
your
fire
highlight.
resist on this team,
There's your highlight.
and
I
that's sad.
I know at this point it's one of the two. He's like given up, or he just is. Yeah, that's it. He's given up. He's strictly here to have fun, and that's okay. I actually I just give you a little applaud there, a little golf clap, if you will, for having the courage to have fun with this video game
Absolutely.
and not taking it too seriously. But that's it. I mean, I could talk about like little things here and there I see, but everybody knows what all these mods do, except maybe like some of the new ones. Ice Cube's got one set.
No one knows what Mr. Rhyme does.
Frostmoth because it does nothing. Frostmoth is basically souped up special
It's
defense
shit
Volcarona, but
Volcarona is
slower.
what it
Yeah,
is. It's shit Volcarona. That's what it
yeah,
is.
that is what it is.
I was excited for it, and then I saw its stats, and I said, ew, gross.
That was me with Toxtricity, man.
Yeah, but Toxtricity has like a niche. I don't know if Frostmoth has a niche.
I mean, if
Like,
you ask Lord
here's the
Envy,
thing. Well,
I don't know.
Frostmoth, I want Frostmoth to be good. I think it'll be like an RU mon at best, I think. I like its ability ice scales. I just wish it was a bit faster.
Everyone wishes that. I would actually take no ice scales just for it to be faster.
Yeah, I mean that's what I said. Like that's all it needs is like 20 more speed, maybe. Give it like base 85 speed, and I could live with that.
All right, I think it's my son's turn. but a machine. So what you think about this team? Because I'm already team built with this team actually at the time of this recording.
Really?
And
All right. Let's see here. Barraskewda, I like. It is a better version of Inteleon in my opinion.
ooh, ouch! Shit on all
I
Inteleon
mean, it's
fans.
fast.
Okay.
It's faster and it hits harder.
Actually, it gets more
I like
coverage.
the Arcanine. Arcanine's very solid.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but every single time we do this, Nick, he loves drafting Fire, Water, Grass, but his Fire, Water, Grasses always have to be pure typings. Just look at some of these past leagues. He always drafts pure fires, pure waters, and pure grasses every season. And here we are again, where he drafted a pure water, a pure fire, and a pure grass.
It's not always a bad thing
I don't think so either,
because you know
but I
what
just
you
think
get.
it's funny.
I do think it is amusing. You got Rune Rigus, which I think is going to be a solid Pokemon.
He is so excited to use that thing.
I think you're going to enjoy that. Sylveon, you can never go wrong with Sylveon. Sylveon's a monster, offensively and defensively. Gastrodon is a solid pick. I think it's a good it's a good toxic and recover set where you can just kind of
A lot of
stall
mons
out
lost.
teams.
A lot of mons lost toxic, so it's not every mon has toxic.
So it's the Gastrodon lose toxic.
No, but I like Sylveon did. I ran toxic sets
Well,
on Sylveon.
good grief.
Yeah, Sylveon did. Escavalier did his next mon.
I love Escavalier, and I love the pick too.
I pushed him
That
really
thing
hard to get this.
is frightening
He was like, "What
because
steal do I get?"
it's a nuke. You slap a choice band on it, and you just kill something.
It's pretty strong.
Serena is a solid Pokemon. I like it. Good rapid spinner. You get drop kick. It's beefy. Drapion. I like Drapion. I don't like it as your only dark type. I do like it as a poison type.
Really, you don't like it
Um,
as your only dark type?
What'd you say?
I can't justify having Drapion with any other dark type in the metagame right now.
I didn't hear what you said there.
I said I can't justify having Drapion by itself as a dark type in the metagame right now. I can't put it with anything else.
Yeah. Noivern, I think is a solid pick. It's a good Scarf Mon. Could even be a good Specs Mon too. Raichu, kind of weird, especially when Jolteon was still on the board. I think you should definitely drop Raichu for Jolteon if you haven't already. And you get your boy Surfetch. Surfetch going in the last round, I think, is a little disrespectful to the thing because it is a fucking monster.
The boy's a Chad. You know, he's immune to Intimidate. He can hit ghost types. He's great. He's got that Megalopt attack stat.
And if you instead of running a band, if you wanted to run like Bleak and just crit spam, good lord.
It's an option for you. You're able to do that.
The issues that I have with this team is that I think I see one viable rock setter.
You see only
Because I don't
one
know if
rock setter.
Gastrodon gets rocks.
You see only one rock setter. Only one rock setter, yes.
So, and I think you have what, one defog and one rapid spin.
Yeah.
Serena with rapid spin and Noivern for defog.
Serena, that would be it. Sorry, I was looking at something.
Yeah. So I will. I think at this point, with so few teams having decent hazard removal, I think having one rapid spinner and one defogger will be passable. I don't know how often you're going to want to run defog on Noivern, or even how often you're going to bring Noivern.
Or Serena,
but the fact that Noivern's your Serena, I can see bringing more often than Noivern. And that's just because Serena's good at checking. It's got a good defensive set, and it's good with its drop kick.
Gastron's actually not that bad on this team because this team's pretty Scald weak.
No, it's not. I like it. I
This,
like it. I like Gastrodon a lot on this team.
this team's really Scald
Um,
weak.
yeah, it is.
Like it's just like
Barrascuda, Arcanine, none, even a Scavalier.
his water resist, like his true water resistance, Serena really doesn't want to be burned. It's his only really good offensive stat, as is its attack stat. And everything else pretty much takes full
Yeah.
damage. So yeah, Gaston was actually a really nice add. Think about it like that.
I don't think you were planning on using it to compensate for your Scald weakness. I think you just kind of got lucky. But hey, we take those. We take those.
He's actually very excited to use Raichu as well. He understands Jolteon's on the board, but he uses them on all the time. He wants to try something new. So he actually wants to
Completely
use
understand.
Raichu, who's a bit more of a mixed attacker. It was his kind of defense. And he already has a Jolteon-ish speed tier with Noivern. He doesn't have anything in that base 110 range. So he kind of wanted to drop down his speed tier a bit so he can compensate for that lower end. That was his
Completely
defense on that.
understand.
Yep. And he just thinks Raichu just does a bit more. It's not a lot, but a bit more. At least in utility.
I would
Obviously, Jolteon's
disagree.
stronger. But
I would disagree with that statement, but I would like to see it put into action.
just with physical sets was mainly what he was talking about because he's actually got the
With
same
physical sets,
offensive.
sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so this team, I guess I kind of, like I said, a team built with it. I kind of have a little bit of an understanding about what it does and stuff like that. I will say, unfortunately, in some of these matchups he's going to have, Butter Machine's offense is going to be very underwhelming. Let me explain myself. So this team is balanced at a fault. It's got switch-ins, it's got abilities to deal out damage, and not too well any setup except for like Raichu. It's got no setup. It doesn't have a lot of hazards to pressure teams, as it has one rocker, and he's got spikers. I think he was talking about wanting to get like Drapion with toxic spikes. Yep, that's about it. So he really just was going for this kind of balanced team that can really just bring in Barrascuda and click his attacks and be happy and be able to cover all bad situations, and then also get to use some stuff he's wanting to use. Like he misses Arcanine, and he's really been wanting to use Serena for some seasons now. So I'm not necessarily, and I'm really not necessarily saying it's this great team because honestly, it loses to stall and defense. It straight up loses to stall and defense. I don't really know how many taunters he has, but he's got like one. He's got no setup on this team, and he has Mons that share a lot of similar weaknesses and cannot withstand big hits from very particular Pokemon. Like a decent example is Clarion Darmanitan. Does pretty good work on this team.
It does all of the work on this
Yeah,
team.
does pretty good work on this team. He was prepping for it. He was worried about it. Dragapult, pretty good against this team. Like just these hard hitters are going to just be neutrally hitting through all these stabs and just doing great work against him, and he doesn't have the sustainability to do that. And his team, where it has the ability to hit back hard, in execution sometimes it might fail. But I know I just sounded really negative, but I really do like it because it's balanced at a fault, and I'm a balanced player, and I see like the view behind this. And the thing is, y'all don't know about the butter machine factor, okay? He's hidden, I'll tell you, and it's gonna be confusing, but he's gonna hit you with like Solar Beam
He's gonna
Arcanine.
bring choice specs. He's gonna bring choice specs to Scavalier and 6-0 somebody with
I
it.
mean, he's got the butter machine effect. That's an extreme example, but it might happen. He's got the butter machine effect. He's beat me before because he's done some really, what I would call at the time, stupid shit, and then ended up
I
just
was gonna say what
destroying
some
me.
may call weird is legitimately stupid, but it just kind of works. I was like, why would you run that? He's like, because you weren't thinking of it. It's
So
like, yeah, because it's bad.
be warned about the butter machine effect, but just take the team for what it is and just give him your full attention. He's a good player.
I think the biggest issue I have with your team, Nick, is that it's too easy to prep for.
Really easy to prep for, yes. You
It
develop a
is
switch
very
into
easy to prep for.
Barrascuda, and you already did like 30% of the work. Just developing one switch in for one mon. which just
because a
pure
lot
water
of
gets
your
walled by a lot.
yeah. So it's one of those things where this team's very easy to prep for, and so just like eh. I
Big
like some
eh.
of the things, but most of it is just kind of like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. It's a very I feel underwhelmed looking at this team, but I also feel very excited to see you use some of the bonds on this team, like Barraskewda and Sylviano and Scavalier and Serena and Rodriguez as well.
I will say this man has already spent an
Um,
average of 4 to 5 hours team building, and he just got this team.
it's a
Like
fun team.
this man's already in the lab. He's so excited about this league. He was telling me about it. So, is
All
it
right,
Shy?
Shy Crow,
Yeah, about to say, is it Shy's turn? Is it
you're
Shy's
up, bud.
turn?
It
Dude,
is Shy's turn.
I actually kind of liked this team at first, but then Yewin kind of opened my third eye, and I was like, ew.
I have that effect. I am very good at saying, man, this team's booty cheeks. It's not
So
booty cheeks, but it's my main issue with your team, Shy Crow, is that I don't see any hazard removal unless if Flygon gets defogged, then you have hazard removal. But outside
it
of that, I
doesn't.
don't think you have hazard removal. It doesn't. You have no hazard removal.
You
The
have
hazards are there to stay, my dude.
all game.
And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Oh, I've got Hatterene. So you can just magic bounce them. Yeah, make that read while I click a steel move or I click a poison move on your Hatterene coming in because
I mean,
I know it's coming in.
Hatterene come in on neutral hits, but it cannot come in on super effective hits.
Yeah, it's a great mon, and I think you'll have fun using it, and I think it'll be something that we have to kind of, like legitimately prep for, especially with the Toxapex there to kind of go with it. But that is your only form of hazard control, and you're relying on magic bounce. So like Ilkid over there with Excadrill and it getting Mold Breaker can freely click rocks whenever he wants with no repercussions whatsoever.
And then hit you with the
And they
super
are
effective
there to stay.
move. Then hit you with the super
And
effective
they are
move based on
yeah,
Hatterini or Toxapex.
yeah, and they would be there to stay for the entire game, and you have to live with that.
You do.
So it does really put a timer on your team, and especially when you've got, one of your good offensive special attackers, two of them actually, with Galvantula and Salazzle, taking extra damage to these rocks whenever he comes in. They come in every time.
Another
So
another thing is, he wants people to default for him so bad because he drafted Webs on a Trick Room team. For those of you who are idiots like me at Pokemon, this is a Trick Room team. Uh, and on concept, it's pretty cool. You know, he's got Hatterini 6-0 and through with both of its stabs. Caparaja is a really interesting new Pokemon that has a lot of that can have a lot of influence in Trick Room, especially considering its extremely low speed and its sky high attack with its weight based attacks and having a really broken ability in Sheer Force.
mm-hmm.
Crawdon's really, really strong always, and it being going first, and on the very few that it has to deal with priority, I mean, just for an example, like my Conkeldurr can click Mach Punch on it, but you can just like Aqua Jet or something. I don't know. Like that's cool too. And then having another Trick Room setter and Aromatisse, it's I mean, I kind of offered him to draft this, but I kind of also forgetting and not really having that background knowledge that Hatterini shared a fairy typing. I know it's like a really basic thought, but I was juggling through like 4 or 5 different teams, helping them. So when I was
Having two
thinking about
fairies isn't a bad
Aromatisse.
type to double up on. Just in my opinion, I think
Well, when do
it's
you
one of the.
see? Sorry, didn't mean to.
I think, and even with Aromatisse here, with its niche, if you run Aromatisse and Hatterene, while I don't think it would be optimal, I don't think you'll be too punished for it.
When do you see Aromatisse being used over Hatterini, though?
I don't,
Yeah, that's the problem for
but I
me.
can see them both be run on the same week in some cases.
Very few. That's some.
Like
Okay.
especially like against Outback, absolutely you can bring both, no problem, because it doesn't have a steel type and its poison type is Vileplume.
And I remember for Shy's last pick, he was like, I don't know what to get. So I went on and I like pulled up this list of like 3 or 4. I'm like, you can get all this stuff. It'd be pretty good. And he went, you know what? Give me the little fighting balls. I was like, Phalanx? And he's like, yeah, that one. They just drafted
I
it.
have
I
no
was
idea
like,
what Phalanx does. Probably
uh,
because it's terrible.
so it's this really average fighting type that gets Defiant, and it gets a move called No Retreat, where you can't switch out, but you get an Omni Boost. So it's kind of cute.
Interesting.
Uh,
Interesting.
yeah, you can't switch out, but you get an Omni Boost. And it's just your
Hmm.
standard fighting type with your standard fighting type attacks, close combat, then gets knockoff, just standard stuff. But
Wait, so these fighting balls get knocked off, but Bisharp doesn't.
I think it gets knockoff, yes. And Biosharp does not.
For those who agree that this is bullshit, feel free to let us
Leave a
know.
like. Leave a like. But yeah, Poltegeist has a really interesting role in this team as well, because his mom wants to shell smash
I
half the time.
love Poltegeist.
But you don't have to just shell
Poltegeist
smash
being
them.
late game. I know, like Poltegeist being a late game sweeper and having access to Trick Room if it wants to. That's some scary stuff right there.
I can definitely see you getting at least 2 wins based on a Poltegeist sweep.
Yeah.
And I guess that's about it. Snorlax in round 10 was fucking ridiculous. It was definitely the steal of the draft, I feel.
I disagree.
Look, if you want to tell me about
I
Clefable in
think,
round 6,
yeah,
dude,
Clefable round 6 is probably the steal for me because what
Snorlax round 10.
Clefable's like a first round pick kind of mon though. You know what I mean?
I don't think so with this new generation. It got a hard nerf. I mean, as did Snorlax, but Snorlax's nerf wasn't as big as Clefable's nerf.
You still get Moonlight and Wish though.
Tell us who you agree with. You agree with Yay when you agree with who do you think was the steal of the draft? Snorlax or Clefable? I will not take any other answers. Um, but who do you think it was? But that's about it for me. I mean, do you have anything else you want to say about Shy's team?
No, um, I think we got most of it. I don't like that your dragon, like Flygon being the only ground type and the only dragon,
And Power
because
Ice is dead though.
like nice thing about having a dragon is that you resist, the fire, water, and grass moves, and having that ground type attached to it kind of just, well, I take neutral damage from these now, so
I think
I
your
see that
cursor is
being an
on my
issue.
Lodic. I think your cursor is on my Lodic.
Yeah,
Yes, I believe so. All right, well, I'm ready to talk about Scissors team.
I like Scissors team a lot.
I like Scissors team a lot. All right, well, take it away. Tell us why.
So Cinderace is fun, especially because we're allowing hidden abilities. So having Libero or Protean, you're basically a more physical version of Greninja, which is cool. Um, and you get decent coverage. And court change is pretty slick. Having seen it in action a few times, court change is pretty slick.
It also
And given your
resets
lack,
screens.
yeah,
It puts
that's
screens on your
insane.
side and then resets them.
Which is just nutty.
Yeah, that's really good.
So it definitely makes teams think twice about hazard stacking against you, because you just have that Cinderace that you can throw out and just say, no, how about you have all of these? And given your lack of like hazard setters on your own team, I think that's a great way to handle it, because you're not going to be setting up hazards on your opponent's side of the field. You're waiting for them to set them up on your side and just throw out the hindrance and just say, no, this is your problem. Deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
A Hydreigon is frightening. The fact that Hydreigon, I think, only has like maybe 2 hard counters, one of them being Grimmsnarl, and like the other one maybe being Biosharp, but even then, Fire Blast is an issue. Says a lot about what that thing can do. Weavile, I don't think having both those be like 2 dark types, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. You have a nice ice type in Weavile. You have a physical dark type. Does Weavile still get knockoff?
Yeah.
Or did it lose that?
No, I didn't lose any moves. Still gets knockoff.
Okay. I didn't hear what you said there, Brandon.
It still gets knockoff, sir.
Oh, okay. So you have a really good knockoff mon. Togekiss is annoying because Serene Grace, Defog, Wish passing.
Haha, no Roosto. Loser. Just kidding.
I mean, it does a lot. You have Lucario, which is just a great steel type and a great fighting type. Milotic, which is a fat bastard.
Fat bastard.
Vikavolt, I think, is interesting on this team. It's a bit slow for an electric type, but I mean, people are going to have to address the fact that you have that thing, and once it clicks agility, it can win. I love Delmise a lot. I know Brandon likes Delmise too.
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. Rotom Frost, I think, is an interesting pick. I don't really understand it, especially when like Rotom.
It's Rotom Fan.
Rotom Fan. Oh, Rotom Fan. Okay. I was gonna say like Rotom Frost is strange when Rotom Fan was available. It's Rotom Fan. Fantastic.
You know what? Let's just
tweak that. Live editing of the doc. There we go. Rotom Fan. That makes a lot more sense. And Dusclops, again, problem to deal with, especially because not a lot gets knockoff anymore. So that Eviolite is there to stay for the most part. And Togepi I get as a meme pick, so I'm not going to address that.
Trying to find a place to put.
But I do like it. But I do like the meme pick of Togepi, especially since you have Togekiss. But overall, I like this team a lot. I think you have decent speed tiers. It's one of the first teams where like you can actually see the different speed tiers. I know speed tiers aren't necessarily too important in this gen, at least not yet anyway.
We don't know.
Just because we really don't know. I feel like base 85 to base 90 is going to be like the new base 100 range because this gen has just slowed down the speed of Pokemon a lot.
We are really reverting back to a defensive generation.
Yeah. And because it is more defensive, you draft it accordingly, and it looks very solid. Like
now, here's
even Rotom Fan is good hazard removal should Cinderace go down, which I think is a good ace in the hole to have. And you have Delmise for Rapid Spin, so you have 2 Defoggers, a Court Changer, and a Rapid Spinner. Like, what more could you ask for hazard removal?
Here's a little meta prediction I have here too. I personally think it does not apply to this team, but I just want to make this known as soon as possible. I think that one of the futures to this metagame and one of the future offensive cores in this metagame is going to be Dragapult Lucario. You just wait. Dragapult Lucario have ridiculous synergy. I was going to draft that had I got one of the earlier picks. I was literally going to get Lucario like second or third round, like that fast. I was really excited to see. I'm really excited to see how those two pair well together. I just think that how they just hit on totally opposite sides of the spectrum so hard, and they accommodate for each other's weaknesses so well. But that has absolutely nothing to do with his power rankings, so I'm just gonna throw that out there.
To be fair, Lucario Hydreigon's pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty sick.
I personally just don't like ever when you have too many of one typing, and especially when those mons don't have a lot of synergy. Weavile and Hydreigon mainly. These mons don't have any synergy. I mean, they're really none. They don't accommodate for another weakness. All right.
I disagree. I think with Weavile you've got Dark and Ice Stab, which I think dealing with some threats is going to be very important, especially with a good knockoff user. And then Hydreigon, you don't even really. Let's see, Dark Pulse, Dracos, Fire Blasts, a Nasty Plot subset.
They're all just hitting the same stuff.
Well, with mainly it's the coverage that Hydreigon gets, whereas Weavile can't really touch fire types. Hydreigon can, with Hydro Pump and Earth Power.
You could have just done that better somewhere else, though.
Could you have done it better, though? Like with Hydreigon, set up a sub, Nasty Plot, and then click buttons?
I mean, I think Hydreigon was fine. I don't like Weavile.
That's fair.
You already had speed tier with Cinderace, for one. For two, you're just adding to this massive fighting weakness you have. And I mean, Togekiss is cool and all, but with it being your one resist, I don't think
he's got too bad of a fighting weakness. He's got 2 immunities, one, two, three resists, one of which is a quad resist. I don't think he's got too bad of a fighting weakness.
I guess it was just massive at the time, but yeah, I mean,
So
just
when he drafted Weavile, I was like, this fighting weakness is going to be a problem. But then you drafted Togekiss right away.
but you had to
I'm
and
like,
you
all
had to
right.
accommodate for doubling up on Ghost, and I don't really like that. Togepi's ass, so we're not even gonna worry about that.
Yeah.
It's fighting resist
I
that
mean,
the fighting resist that you're claiming he does have is Rotom Fan, which is really really weak in most situations because of its low HP stat whenever it comes to taking hits. And it doesn't have good.
it's
It
got the
has a
same
weakness to
HP
Stealth
stat
Rock.
as Rotom Wash.
It's got a weakness to Stealth Rock. Uh, as does Togekiss and Weavile and Vikavolt, you know, just all
And
and
that's why, well, this is why,
Cinderace.
I know, and this is why he drafted a lot of hazard removal, which I think is completely fair.
I don't know about completely fair. It's still a problem. You wouldn't have to draft so much hazard removal if you didn't draft so many mons that are blatantly weak to the hazards. And I'm sorry. I mean, I still don't see the synergy between Hydreigon and Weavile. Period. And if there is any, it's not good that he couldn't have found better somewhere else while covering more typings that he lacked to do. And I mean, the what this team has going for it, it hits hard, and it's gonna hit hard with like Cinderace being really polarizing, and Hydra, and Lucario, and it's gonna hit hard. But another thing is it's not gonna take hits that well. Miloticus really is one bulky mon, well, Togekiss and Milotic I meant to say are his true like bulk mons and his higher tiers, and they're both weak to the same typing. Um,
Dhelmise is bulky. Dusclops is bulky.
And again, Delmize Dusclops, that core is weak to knockoff. You know what I mean? His cores share too many weaknesses. And his offense doesn't have enough synergy for me. But this is us publicly disagreeing. I know it's unheard of, but this is us publicly disagreeing.
So I like the team quite a
Yeah,
bit,
I think it's okay.
and I look forward to seeing you do whatever the hell it is you're going to do with it.
I think I'm going to body it. All right, Pants. What's up, bro? On to a team I quite respect. I quite
I
respect
like
this
this team
team.
too.
Uh, Because I mean, I was really thinking about Mew, and I'm on Dragon Dance now, and I think the game's just over. And I think Mew has won. You know, I think Mew is completely ridiculous. Because at first, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, can it really do everything? No, now it can very much do everything. Whereas a lot of the mons lost coverage, this mon gained coverage. It's ridiculous.
You get all the hazards with Mew now, I believe.
Yeah, except sticky webs.
What did you say?
You didn't get sticky webs, but he gets everything else. And then like Ferrothorn is you got really solid fighting resistance. I hope that you don't end up practicing with this team and seeing that Mew has to be a defensive role. I really hope that you're able to unlock Mew's potential with this kind of team. At the moment, I truly feel you have. You have setup sweepers to pick up the slack for it when it wants to be bulky. You have the Ferrothorn Mandibus core whenever Mew wants to go off, along with like Jellicent. And I don't know how bulky Galarian Wheezing is yet, but I mean that typing and its ability being either levitate or neutralizing gas. I mean both of those are really cool, so I can definitely see that being pretty cool. Speed tier wise, it's not that bad. Bolton and a Hawlucha are kind of right next to each other there, and I believe it takes a dip down to Mew after that, so that's not
Durant.
crazy. Oh, sorry,
Durant.
Durant. So that's not crazy ideal, but it's not bad either. It's pretty good. Um, there's enough hazards on this team with
Solid.
yeah, with enough stealth rockers, all the way down to Stone Journer. Now you kind of got that thing going where you have two pretty viable rockers, and then you know a mon that you either don't want to bring rocks on all that much, or just don't want to bring in general. Like I kind of feel that way with Torkoal. Like it's not like I'm bringing Torkoal every week, but it's definitely one of my stealth rockers. So I feel you on Stone Journer, but Stone Journer's gonna have a couple of really decent matchups, um, like Scissors Team. But I'm really, really appreciating the synergy offensively as well. how you can sweep and wall break all at the same time. Diggersby and Haxorus are great wall breakers. Haxorus can double as a sweeper as well as Hawlucha. Durant's a really fine wall breaker. Mew can do anything. And then your defensive cores kind of speak for themselves too. I would say, like, literally my only complaint with this team is you really don't take hits specially all that well. I mean, Mew's great, and
God,
so is
no.
Jellicent, but you don't, like, your special defense is lacking for sure. So special wall breakers going to kind of have their way with this. But man, other than that, real solid. It's all around good.
Yeah, I like this team quite a bit. Hazard removal is solid. You got what, Mew, Mandibuzz, and I think that's it for hazard removal. That's 2 defoggers, which is all you really need, I feel like. We had spike setting as well, which is good. With Ferrothorn there. Ferrothorn's just a really good Pokemon altogether. So yeah, I like the team.
Yeah, I really do as well. I really do as well. I mean, as long as there's nothing else to say, we move on to Jay.
Sure.
We move on to Jay. Gotta say, love the theme of old gen, new gen every round. I picked up on that. Um, it's a J team, man. I scratch my head at some of it. I get most of it. It's a J team.
Mammal Swimming, I like.
Yeah,
Toxicity,
not first
I
round
think it'll
though.
be fun.
Not first
I don't
round
like
though.
it first round, but it's an okay pick.
And he wasn't getting Mammal Swine to come back to him, so that's fair.
No, he wasn't. I do think you built around Mamoswine very well, though.
Savali was super early.
Um, Toxicity, I like. I think that'll be fun. Silvally, I think you got pretty early, but that's okay. It's something you wanted to make sure you got.
I'm hearing people say Orbeetle's ass. What do you think?
I'm excited to see what you do with Orbeetle because I'm not sure what Orbeetle can do. I don't know what its ceiling is.
It's a web setter
Um,
with okay stats.
yeah, but like it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things where I want to see what it does. Like whereas I feel like I know what I'm getting with most of the other bugs, like Frostmoth and what's that other one that we got?
Scorch.
Scorch, yeah. Yeah, I feel like I know what I'm getting with those. This one I don't necessarily know what I'm getting yet. So I'm excited to see what you do with it. I do like Inteleon. I do think it is. It's to me, it's just it's the special lesser version of Barraskewda. But with Inteleon, you do have a niche ability in Sniper for whenever you do crit, and you do have your Snipe Shot. I don't know if you're ever going to bring that, or if
Yeah,
you're going to be using that for the purpose
I think you just run
of
Skull with
just.
the crit set.
Yeah, that's what I would probably do. Or you could run a Sash set with Torrent because you are so fast. Have that base 120 speed. A Sash set with Torrent would be pretty decent, I feel like. And Inteleon gets decent coverage just all around. So
It doesn't.
Clefable,
No, it's like 4 moves, 5 moves.
what does it get for coverage? It gets Ice.
Ice
What else
Beam with
does it
Dark
get?
Pulse and U-turn.
Well, that's not bad. It's decent coverage.
It's 4 moves, man. Like it's the same 4 moves like every week. No
No,
poison.
still doesn't mean it's bad. Like the coverage that it gets is decent.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Ice, Dark,
Wall play
Water,
steals.
Ghost. You get U-turn if you want to run that.
Yeah, I don't like it. But I just think that's something really fast spamming Skull. It's never a bad thing. I just look at Keldeo.
Absolutely. I do think I love Clefable. I was going to draft it the round you drafted it, and I was like, well, shit. But that's all right. It's my fault for letting it fall that far. Should have seen it earlier, but I do like it. Duraludon, I think, is going to be very good.
It's gonna be okay.
I think it'll be have a really good niche. I think you could run an assault vest on it, and you'd have some annoying bulk to deal with, as well as dishing out a lot of punishment with it as well. Um, Modem, I like, especially because you don't really have too much of an ice weakness or fire weakness.
You don't mind. You don't
With
mind he
Quags,
doubled up on electrics.
no, I don't. I don't think doubling up on electrics is always terrible, and especially when it's a Rotom. Like if you have a Rotom and another electric type, I don't ever think that's going to be bad.
Personally, I just think electrics are bad this gen, but that's just me.
Well, it's got one weakness, which like electric has one weakness, which is ground, and then you mitigate that with levitate. So it's really just the ice and fire weakness you have to deal with.
Greedent's cool. You almost skipped him.
I was still on Modem. I mentioned Quagsire to deal with the fire types.
Oh, okay, I thought you
Greedent,
were.
I think, will be. No, I wasn't. I'm not going to disrespect Greedent.
Greedent's cute.
I like it. I like it.
It's really
I
slow,
want
but
um, Ninetales. I think was it's an interesting pick. I don't. I've got mixed feelings about Ninetales because it's one of my favorite Pokemon. I've never seen it as a very good competitive Pokemon.
that was almost Meowth, but he changed it.
But he went from Meowth to Naruto, I think is what he said.
Yeah, Pussycat to Naruto. I don't see
Pussycat
the
to Naruto, that's
synergy.
right.
I don't see the synergy with this and Sun.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't either.
I mean it's
But
cool.
I do like Quagsire. Quagsire is just annoying.
Again with that whole like special thing, you still don't take special hits all that well. But it's just a pretty satisfying looking balanced team, I would say.
So Volley having parting shot is just going to be annoying. It's just a nuisance.
And I'm pretty sure we made it to where it could be any typing, so
Yeah, we did.
good stuff. All right, so did you actually want to do us, or is this where we're gonna be done?
Oh, how long are we in?
I don't actually know because I didn't set a timer or nothing like I should have. But
Real smart. Fuck it. We could talk about our teams.
and
What we
this
like, what we
thing
don't like.
also doesn't tell me how far I've been in. I'm actually have the OBS pulled up. It doesn't tell me how far I've been in. So
All right, lovely. Fuck it. We'll talk about our teams. I'm sure we're over an hour by now.
yeah, yeah, probably. Because
Guys,
I
you want to go
mean,
first? You want me to go first?
I thought we started around about an hour ago. Yeah, I'm looking at the time.
All right.
You're left most. So
Ooh, I get to go first.
yeah, yeah. And
Take it away.
this is probably going to be one of the longer conversations because of course it's our own team, so we're in on our own minds. We can defend ourselves.
We
But
could just not really defend ourselves, more so just this is what I was thinking.
hey, tell you what, I like this one, Mr. Yewen. I like this one. I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to kiss your ass. I like this one. It's like a terrain kind of sort of themed team. A lot of mons really benefit from the terrain in this particular instance. And you have Rillaboom to sort of neutralize Aegislash's apparent weakness. It's why Double Steel makes a bit more sense to me, although Bisharp doesn't make sense to me in general because the mon doesn't get knockoff. But it makes
Yeah,
more
I
sense
didn't
to me as
realize
a
it didn't.
sixth round pick.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't realize it didn't get knockoff until after I drafted it,
You're like,
and I'm
fuck.
like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, Night Slash is still
I'll
pretty
live.
strong.
Still
Uh,
pretty good.
I really just not too much to knock. It's not crazy bulky. The team is. Like the mons have bulk themselves, but they're not dedicated walls. Like Rillaboom has bulk. It's not like a dedicated wall though. Kamo, I feel the same way about Rakwenit's a wall, and so is Rotom Heat. But they're kind of like a bit lesser. They share weaknesses, which I hate, but that's personal preference.
What weakness do they share?
Rock. They both have a rock weakness.
Gotcha.
You're absorbing T spikes. You know what? Maybe you got something for Sandaconda that I don't even know about. Maybe you got that hidden tech.
Look, look.
I'm not
I saw
sure.
Sandaconda. I wanted to draft a new mon, and I wanted to draft a ground type. So I saw Sandaconda. I'm like, it's got shed shell. I can make use of that.
Shit skin.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Shed skin, yeah. I can make use
Togetic
of
got
that.
a hard nerf because its wishes are not going to be that powerful. Base
Yeah,
65
no,
HP. It got a hard nerf, so being around 10 pick
I
makes
know.
makes a bit of sense. And then I can't shame you for drafting Wishcash. You can't get shamed for that.
Kang, dude, Kang Dirt, man.
Nah, you can't get shamed for. He's
I'm
back.
gonna,
He's ready to go
I'm gonna
again.
bring, I'm gonna bring the Kang in. I'm gonna beat somebody with the Kang.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
It'll be fun.
So yeah, not too. It's not like it doesn't have the speed to be a Devon
This is
team.
a,
It's a very
this is
slow
a, this
team.
is, this is the reason. So the reason why I drafted a bit of a slower team this gen. We say that, but even then, I've got Gengar and Espeon, which are the same speed tier. I get it, but still. I do feel like with House, like there's not a lot of things that are over base 110. I think there's maybe like 6 mons that are or 7 mons that are faster than base 110 speed that are decent. Um, and I don't mind the slower team, especially with how just the natural bulk that my team has, like Como having base 125 physical defense and like base 105 special defense or something like that. Um, So not too concerned about the slowness of the team. Yeah, you can hit me first. That's fine. I don't really care too much. Um, I'll be able to. I'll have my terrain up. So
I think you have
I don't
three
know.
rockers.
Yeah, one,
Wishcash does not get rocks.
2, 3. No, Santaconda does. Bisharp doesn't. Como does.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't really like clicking rocks with Kamo or Bisharp, but I feel like on a
With
lot of
by
Bisharp
it's
sets, yeah,
Bisharp now that it doesn't have knockoff, you can replace that with rocks. And Como, I have zero issue running rocks with. That thing is fat and annoying.
I just think you want to sweep with Kamo. I think it's your best sweeper, maybe other than Gengar,
I'm gonna
but
bring a
Kamo can boost its speed. It still
How
has.
dare you? How dare you say Como is the best sweeper when King Derp is right there? How dare you?
Kamo still gets that one move, Clanger's Souls or something like that. It doesn't. It takes damage off of you, like it damages you. You lose HP, but I think you get like a mini Omni boost or like an Omni boost or something.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can still do that. You just have to sacrifice some HP. 'Cause people run like Citrus Berry.
I didn't
Um,
know that.
yeah, so there you go.
Some neat tech there. Some neat tech there.
I mean, I think it's gonna be more than just neat tech. I think it's gonna be very powerful to
Yeah.
to still be able to get that Omni boost.
I think that my one gripe with this team that I have is that I only drafted 2 J8 mons. Um, but that's.
At least you didn't draft one, and it's some
I was gonna
niche
say.
mod
I was
on your
gonna say.
team.
I was gonna say that's it's one more than what Brandon drafted. At least, okay, the main Gen 8 mon that I drafted, I built around, and I built the
Yeah,
team around the grassy terrain.
you just slap
So,
him on
Rill-
this team.
Rillaboom, yeah, like Rillaboom is the heart and soul of this team because it's, in my opinion, it's a less offensive Bulu, but I think it's a better Bulu because it gets better coverage and it doesn't have that poison weakness like that really annoying poison weakness or steel weakness. Yeah, it's a grass type, so it still has a poison weakness, but you didn't add any weaknesses to it with that steel type, and you didn't make the poison weakness worse. I mean, it just gets better coverage too. Like
You
it
can
gets
U-turn.
U-turn, it gets knockoff too, which is fantastic.
Hits really hard. It's cool. Cool
It's got
little
a decent
mod.
attack stat. It's got a decent defense stat. It's got a decent HP. I can run an assault vest with it too.
It's the second best new starter.
I can do a lot of things with it. I'm excited to use it. It was my favorite starter. I was always going to pick it, the monkey, because I mean, Grookey was adorable, and then I saw Rillaboom. I'm like, I fucking need this ape. so,
All right,
so yeah, I'm excited to play with this team. All right, Brandon,
I think it's my
listen
turn
here, you
to get
limp dick bitch.
to get shit on.
You
Go for
ready?
it.
You limp dick bitch. Fucking love this team.
Cool. Awesome. I was so afraid because they went so good at pointing out all my insecurities about my teams, and I thought I was
Here's
gonna
the
really
thing,
get it.
Brandon. I'm gonna build you up, and then I'm gonna knock you down. All right.
All right, go for
I'm
it.
gonna build you up, and then I'm gonna knock you down a couple pegs.
I'm gonna stay quiet. Go for it.
It's okay. Drill, Rotom Wash, and Tyranitar. That's a solid top 3 to get. Tyranitar and Excadrill. Terrific. I know you didn't draft T-Tar, but you traded it in the middle of the draft for Mandibuzz. I think, and I think it was a good trade. It was a double-edged trade because you lost a knockoff user because Mandibuzz gets knockoff for some reason.
And T-Tar doesn't. I know it's annoying.
And T-Tar doesn't. So there's a trade-off with that. You also lose out on one of your defoggers. But you do gain sand, and you can make very good use of the sand with Excadrill there. I'll get to the fact that the rest of your team does not appreciate sand later. But know that that is an issue that this team has. You have 3 Pokemon that don't care if they're in sand, and everything else doesn't want to necessarily take the chip from the sand. Rotom Wash is Rotom Wash. We all know what Rotom Wash is capable of, especially with it having, you can definitely run more offensive sets with it now. I think that like more offensive sets of it are becoming more prevalent, which is great for it. Right, Bombi? Shacro, buckle up. He's coming for your ass. Great sticky web setter. I think you've got good speed control with that. Even more so with the sand and Excadrill. You got Pennywise, the knock your lights out clown, Conkeldurr there, which is just, it hits like a freight train. And you have Sheer Force, Guts, and Iron Fist. Take your pick on what ability you want to run because they're all pretty fucking good. Reuniclus is a fucking problem because it got more fun things to play with. If you wanted to run Power Swap and run Hammer Arm on a Trick Room, you can do that pretty effectively, which I think is stupid. Braviary, I've always had mixed feelings about Braviary. There are days where I absolutely love it, and there are days where I'm like, this thing is booty cheese. So I think it'll just depend. Right now, I think I'm going to just leave it at that, though. I can't lean one way or another. Frostlass, fantastic Pokemon. Good Ice type, good Ghost type, good Spin Blocker. Set up spikes yourself. Have that Destiny Bond where you can just kind of buy yourself another turn to set up another layer of spikes, or get off like a Will-O-Wisp, or maybe just hit something with Shadow Ball. Flapple.
Choose your next words carefully.
Niche pick. I like it, but a very niche pick.
You disrespect Flapple one more time.
I didn't disrespect him. I said he was a niche pick, and I like him.
He's a lord. He's amazing.
Your Flapple is my King Derp, okay?
Talk some shit. Yeah, no, I won't accept that answer. Flapple's the goat.
All right, you're right. King Derp is far superior.
Damn. Walked right into that one.
Yeah, you did. Torkoal, I know why you drafted it. It's a good spinner. You can win your team inevitably gets sick of taking chip from sand. You can just come in and make the sun shine, and sand is no longer a problem. And Garbodor is a decent Pokemon. It's trash, but it's decent trash.
Decent trash.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a video where I talk about my own team and highlight what I like about it and stuff, for sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you a generalistic view of it right now. I drafted Pure Spin. I drafted Pure Speed Control because something Awen did not mention is my team can run Trick Room too. Kind of he did. My bad with Reuniclus, but I can also run it with Conkeldurr. I can also run it with even Torkoal. Tyranitar is really nice with the Trick Room. So I really wanted to try to see if I can hit all things speed control. And my issue with the sand chip thing is I'm just not worried about it. I don't think it's that big of a deal, personally. I think it's really lame that it breaks Ribombi's sash. That's my one problem with it. It's my one problem with it, though. My opponent 9 times out of 10 is also going to be taking that same sand chip, and it's only for it's only going to be for a total like 3 turns, because you have to factor it, like on average, you have to factor in how many turns Tyranitar is actually in. And as my argument for being able to draft more things that work with sand, there's just not a lot in this gen that works with sand, and I just think it's one of Excadrill's best sets. I would be depriving it if I didn't draft a good sand user for it to do some real work. And honestly, with my vision with this team, I don't see myself bringing Excadrill Tyranitar all 9 weeks all too much. Particularly, I really like the prospect of Mold Breaker. I really like the prospect of Fast Webs and Trick Room and other things like that. And Braviary, strictly Defiant. Because how I wanted to run this team is I wanted to have Mandibuzz, and I wanted to have Gigalith, and I wanted to have Obstagoon. Because I thought Obstagoon was this amazing mon that gets Guts and Defiant, all these great abilities, it's going to do some work. Turns out Obstagoon is trash. It's fucking horrible. So I took the trade mid-draft, and I ended up dropping Obstagoon immediately after. And I put Garbodor in the last spot because it makes more sense to me. Technically, it should be where Braviary is, but it just would have looked awkward to me. So I put it in the bottom spot. If anybody wants me to do that for trades that they've done, just let me know. It's just me with my OCD. And I really felt this team was supposed to take on. I mean, I really felt this team can take on a lot of different roles because I really, really like the amount of setup I have as well with Drill, Dragon Dance Tyranitar, Quiver Dance Ribombee, Trick Room Calm Mind Reuniclus plus Nasty Plot Reuniclus, Defiant Braviary, Dragon Dance Flapple with Hustle, so it always gets Choice Band. I just suffer accuracy, and since I'm Isle Kid, I know I'll miss. And then I really like Garbodor for the spike setup. I mean, I really cover a lot of different hazards with this team, I feel, and I drafted the best spinner in the game. So, yeah, that's what I think. I like it too.
My main issue with this, and I think the biggest issue, is that your team is not a fan of Scald at all.
I'll take that up.
I know you've got a Rotom Wash there, but once that goes down, like, to be completely fair, once Rotom Wash is taken care of, and even beforehand, Barraskewda is going to be tricky for you to deal with. That's just something that I noticed.
Yeah, and you can't win all the matchups, but
no, you can't. That was just something that I just kind of was like glancing around at the other teams and stuff while you were talking. I saw Barraskewda. I'm like, oh god, Barraskewda murders this team.
And I have Reuniclus too to take Scalds. Reuniclus can take Scalds. And
I don't know it can.
Flapple Quad
it can't
resist, but I
take
just
a
don't want to get
liquidation.
burned.
Yeah, you don't want to get burned.
Reuniclus can take
Sure,
any
nothing really wants to get
attack
burned
I
on your
want it
team.
to take, is what I'm starting to learn. Reuniclus is great.
Yeah.
It can take any attack I want it to take. I just have to specifically EV it for that attack. So it definitely offense.
So, yeah,
I lack a little bit on defense, but it's all right.
Yeah, and that's okay. This is definitely a more offensive team, which I think is strange. Like, you drafted closer to a hyper offensive team, and I drafted more of a balanced team. We seem to do this every now and then. You and I never both draft hyper offense.
Yeah, I'm starting to think it's more fun.
It is way more fun, let me tell you.
And I mean, new gen, new toys, and I didn't draft any of those new toys, but fuck you. I just want that's what I think so.
New toys. Excuse me, I drafted none of the new toys. Well, I make that my argument. All right.
And I'm sorry, but Lord Flapple.
Letter grades.
Okay, hold up.
Letter grade.
I gotta say one more thing. Lord Flapple is getting 5 kills this season. At me, do it. Lord Flapple.
9 games, and you're saying he's only going to get
5 kills this season. Okay, that's not bad. I mean Drill and T-Tar.
Lord Flapple.
Drill and T-Tar are going to get like 8 and 9. 5 kills for Flapple, at least, and we're aiming for 10. Okay, we're aiming for 10.
Wishcast going to get 20 kills. Here we go.
5 to 10 kills for Flapple. 5 to 10. You know what? I'll even raise the stakes. Flapple gets 8 kills this season, or I say Appleton's better. Lie. I don't know. No, I'm not going to do that. But Flapple gets 8 kills this season.
Flapple gets 8 kills. You'll be happy.
I mean, more than happy. It's that's my 9th mod I picked. Getting 8 kills. It's really decent. You said you want to give letter grades though? We kind of forgot.
I said I know we didn't give. I know we didn't give letter grades, but I feel like with what we said, you kind of understand. By the way, steal the draft. Don't forget that.
Yeah, don't forget that. Is it Snorlax?
Clefable, Snorlax, or is it Wishcash?
Or is it Wishcash?
It's not.
I mean, on an ending note, I guess what we do playoff predictions. So, and this isn't just excluding us power rankers. Say us power rankers are not involved because that's bias. Say us power rankers not involved. Give me the playoff teams. It's 4 teams, right? It's 4 teams.
Yeah, I think so.
4 teams make it to the dance. What 4 teams is that, excluding the power rankers?
Excluding you and me.
Yes.
Pants.
Okay.
TP.
All right.
Just because Darm G is going to single-handedly win him at least 3 games.
Okay.
Um, scissors and I'll go with I don't know. I'm I'm gonna say J. I think.
I have the same, except for scissors. I got butter on that list. I'm believing in butter. I'm believing in
You go
butter.
for it.
I'm believing in the butter. Yeah, do you want to make a 4 or do you want to make a 6? I mean, we haven't really officially talked about that, but I just thought 4 was fair for 10 teams.
We'll figure it out.
All right. All right. Well, we
If
got to
it's
kind of
if it's
the league
six if
started
it's six, then it's scissor and Shagro.
because yeah, I mean, 4 teams sitting doesn't seem bad. We'll make it 6. We'll make it 6. We'll make it 6.
Okay. So top six make it. Top two get a bye.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. We'll do that.
Bottom four you out. All right, that
Bottom 4
works.
you out.
So yeah, those are our thoughts. We're not going to timestamp anything because
We're lazy and I don't know how to edit.
that means that well he doesn't know how to edit. It's not really editing. It's just kind of we don't really want to have to watch through all this nonsense. And I don't think you guys want to. I feel bad for you guys having to watch the nonsense, but just know
They
what we
like
said
it.
at the beginning of the video, even though you've already made it to the end of the video. This is redundant. We started at the left, we worked our way to the right. So if you ever want to review anything, take a guess and see how long we rambled on about the team.
They like it though. They like it though.
Fucking weirdos.
All right. Well, that's
It's
it
okay. I
for
love you
me.
guys. You guys are
Uh,
all.
I really can't wait for such an awesome season. Thank you guys all for being so cooperative and being so cool. Really appreciate it. I mean, we get, life's whatever, and the fact that you guys are really trying to help us out and put in your effort to this really awesome league, I think we're going to be able to go the distance. And this is really going to be a really awesome beta for what is going to be a really awesome ATA Season 3. I'm telling you, I got some stuff in the works, so be ready for that.
Yeah, consider this a trial run for Gen 8. Next season, we'll have a tier list, hopefully. I think 2 months into Gen 8, we should have a tier list with things
And we're
and know
gonna think
what's
of
good
some
and
fun
what's not
stuff.
good.
We're gonna think of some fun stuff.
Um, I think we can probably, with this, since we're just kind of having fun with this, I think every week, if you guys get your fights done in a timely manner, all right, so Kid and I, we can talk about the things that happened in each of the fights and kind of go over what we thought was like a decent play and what we thought was a not so decent play and who like the MVP of the week was and do different things like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But that's if we get things done in a timely manner, which God knows we're terrible at, but that's okay.
All right, well, I guess we're gonna be done. Uh, we have been the Illinois Kid NEA win, and we'll see you guys later when you're catching these L's. All right, bye bye.